going live thing. All right. So today on the podcast, I went at no great lengths to get this guest. I just thought it'd be nice. StardiSky at Twitch of same name.
Hi.
Yep. So I had some very interesting questions. I think. So, what's your opinion on Krampus?
Krampus?
Yeah. Like the evil Santa.
Oh, he bad.
Like,
he doing some bad stuff.
I remember this video clip I watched of a German Christmas celebration, and this is just Krampus traumatizing children.
What?
Yeah, it's weird. And I thought that maybe it just might be a foreigner thing, like, oh, I just don't understand. But no, he's just like, it's like apparently Freddy Krueger decided to show up at Christmas.
Well, I know I once saw a movie about Krampus.
Yeah,
like a horror movie.
Yeah, there was like a horror Christmas movie about it recently, like within the last 5 years or something.
But I didn't get the point about the movie.
Well, I can explain that rather simply.
Drink the water.
It was the coffee. I just wanted it gone.
You just yeeted the coffee down your throat.
But it was like if basically around in the horror community, if there's a holiday, there's a movie for it.
Yeah.
So I don't know, Christmas horror just happens. There's this one in America where like an evil Santa was played by a wrestler. And he's like a wrestler. It's weird. But I just Krampus, like evil Santa who beats you with a stick and a sack.
Wait. What the fuck?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he does that. Like he puts kids in the sacks and like beats them.
I never heard about that part.
Oh yeah.
Of Krampus.
Dude, that's your heritage.
Okay. My camera just fell down behind the desk.
Oh, am I thinking of like the wrong Germanic country or something? Like I thought it was like a German thing.
Well, in Germany we actually don't think about Krampus, to be honest. Nobody thinks about it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, shit.
Well, so yeah, our parents never tell us about any bad Santa or anything like that.
But it used to be a thing?
I don't know. But, like, Santa Claus was real because it was St. Martin.
Well, I think
he was not red. He was gold white, not red white.
Uh-huh.
I know that story. If it's true, I don't know. But a bad Santa is basically Grinch.
Well, they just made him run white so he could, appear for Coca-Cola in a few years, mate.
Yeah. I actually had an exam about Coke. And
what? Was it a nasal exam?
There was a project.
Like,
a presentation about Coca-Cola. Yes. And I found out that actually Coca-Cola is doing the Christmas stuff like for years. Okay.
Oh, yeah. Like
even before we were born.
Oh, yeah. Like there was this one thing where like the artist forgot to draw Santa with his wedding ring, and people blew up about Coke sales because they're like, oh, divorced Santa can't be divorced. I don't know why.
The thing is, Santa Claus was actually white and gold. Okay. Because he was dressed like that.
Yeah.
And just because of like freaking Coca-Cola, because they are red and white, people thought Santa Claus is red and white. Because they do that shit now for decades.
Yeah.
With the Santa Claus thing. And everybody just thought like, Santa Claus is red and white just because of the Coke color.
Well, the thing is, right, when I heard about the basis for Santa. It was like Saint Nick, and that's why they call him Old Saint Nick. At least in America. And
Well,
the thing was, like, he was the patron saint of the downtrodden, as my humanities teacher wanted to tell me. In the class, I said, "Oh yeah, the patron saint of prostitutes." I love the guy, but anyway, so like part of the reason why apparently he was associated with prostitutes or the downtrodden was because he would give gifts to them on Christmas or something. Like you just like drop presents down their chimney, something along the lines. But
imagine everybody had a chimney that thick that someone could actually get through.
Yes.
How
imagine just
ironic is that?
Huh?
How ironic is that?
Sorry, I completely missed. What's ironic?
The chimney.
Getting down through it, even though he's fat.
Yeah.
I just thought since he was a magical guy anyway, it was just magic.
But is it?
Well, okay, he has little elves, mate, and not the Tolkien kind, like actual elves, like little gremlin-like creatures that make toys for him. I don't know. Is it really fair to say that it couldn't be magic?
I'm not gonna lie. Who thought about that story that he had many elves that helped him?
I don't know. Who's the one who said like, "Oh yeah, Jesus also can raise the dead"? It's like I didn't know it's a God played a D&D character. It's like, well, I didn't think at first about my priest, my cleric character multi-classing into necromancer, but I thought it'd be cool. I don't know. This happens. Like it's. I don't know. Like, if you like go back far enough, you'll find that hey, why are Christmas trees pine trees, but also with little red orbs and a star on top? Another one of those things. My teacher in the humanities class said like, yeah, the Christmas tree was apparently like a pomegranate tree. Like obviously, there's no pine trees in like Roman, like Jerusalem where the Romans were. That's more. It's a very pagan / Christian holiday. Like, oh yeah, this dude in fur coat, weird for a Christian holiday, comes down from the north to deliver presents. It's widely believed that that was just the mixing of the Germanic and Nordic with the Christian holiday. I don't know, what are some very significant German holidays that you could name off the top of your head?
We actually have many holidays. Too many, I think.
Also, for reference, for people who are watching who may not know his nationality, StardiSky is German.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's really weird because of the different time zones we have. So yeah, in Germany it's just like let me think about the holidays we have. We have Christmas holidays.
A staple in the West.
Yeah, we have winter holidays.
What, like break holidays or like?
Yeah.
Okay.
Break holidays. Then we have Easter. Then something that is called Pfingsten, which I still don't know what it is.
Fair.
Next is summer holidays. Then we have autumn holidays.
All right.
So we basically have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 holidays, and at every beginning of, like, I think the first Monday or the second Monday of April, everything's closed because it's Easter Monday. And May the 1st, okay?
Yeah.
Like, everything's closed. Anytime, whole day, May the 1st, everything's closed.
Uh-huh.
It's good when it's on like a Tuesday, Wednesday, or Monday.
Mm.
Okay, but if it's a Sunday, oh, that shit.
Oh, I was thinking more like cultural holidays, like I don't know. And I think in Ireland, I'm not certain though. I've never been there. I just know it's where like Halloween came from. Apparently, I think Halloween's a big thing over there, but also Halloween's a big thing over here.
Actually, Halloween is not a big thing in Germany anymore, since Germans are pretty much like saving people. Like they save a lot of money not doing it.
Mm. Yeah, I can definitely see how things would. Oh, I also see it as a big money maker too. Like, if you've ever seen like an American store, like Walmart, Target, or whatever, around the time of like 4th of July, Halloween, Christmas, they make bang. Like I was at Target on the
True.
4th of July, and all their seasonal stuff that was out for like just the 4th of July, gone, cleared. Yeah. So I'm like, jeez, mate.
You make the money.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, like definitely you have to. There's also a lot of money spent, but some stores make it back depending on the holiday.
Yeah.
Hey, and weird thing is, I still hear fireworks going off. Like
wow.
It's
even though
it's over.
Like
it's over a week later. It's like it's over a week later. But as I mentioned to my friend Carl, who will be on the podcast later today, it was during a thunderstorm.
During a thunderstorm.
Yeah, last night we had a thunderstorm.
Somebody light up.
We had a thunderstorm by me last night, and I mentioned to him, it's like, dude, I don't know why they're doing fireworks in the middle of a thunderstorm. And he says, dude, that sounds metal as hell. And I'm like, yeah, but it's like it's a moment like Reddit, like, why were you filming, or who's filming this? Like, who thought of this and said to do it? The payoff is cool, obviously, like fireworks and thunderstorm. It's like, where'd that come from?
True.
So I don't know. I thought a nice thing to do would be like ask some questions about you specifically. Right? So what was it like growing up in Germany? Like
hard. I can tell you that. It's not easy. It's stressful, and believe me, if you're not cool, oh, you gone.
So what are some like things expected of like elementary school? I would like to just go to like basic, like, age brackets, like, elementary, or like I think it's like first primary schooling. I'm not certain, but like childhood, then like middle school, and then secular. I think secular is like high school to you guys. Like I'm just interested in sort of things that are kind of expected of you guys.
Well, first grade was not easy. Of course, you had to get to know each other, but some people already knew each other because of kindergarten.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, well, I don't know anybody.
Fair.
That's weird. And yeah, we basically just when I was little, that was the weird part. I was kind of racist. I didn't even knew it. I was just a small little child, but I didn't knew I was racist.
Okay. To be honest, it's gonna come up later, but I think as children, we don't know things, and then we grow up and we're like, yeah, not my finest moment, really, because it's different. Like when I think racist, I think someone who's grown up, and they haven't changed. They're just a grown up bigot. Like obviously, like when a kid says something, they might not know the full impact of what they're saying. Then they grow up and they're like, no, I don't know about that. Like obviously, if they regret it, no, they're not racist. They're just like, oh boy, I don't like that part of my life. They just,
True.
yeah. Like I understand the idea of like having a hard time as a younger kid. Like I alluded to it last night, but I am autistic, and one of the hardest things I had to do was talk to people. Like obviously, I was a little bit of a cunt when I was a kid, but when I was a kid, I just didn't know anyone. I had a hard time making friends, and I just was socially held back. They start moving you upgrades, and you have to do group projects. I'm like, I don't want to do a group project. Just please leave me alone.
Not gonna lie, I was scared. Of, like in general of school because it literally it was not easy for me.
Mm-hmm.
Not even a single year for my whole school life till now.
Well, like
But luckily,
academia or
I'm
like
done with school now. I'm done with school now. I'm happy. Um, not the best grades, but at least something.
well, okay. I would like to. I would if one thing or the other is not comfortable to talk about. I just want to ask, like, so was it school harder, or I know you said some of the kids were hard on you, like bullying.
Yeah,
Do you think like
that's the thing. Every year of my whole life, I got bullied for literally no reason. I don't know if I was funny or not or anything like that. I just wasn't.
I think
I don't know why. I don't know what the reason was. I don't know anything what happened, but I just got bullied for no reason.
I also think whether you like obviously bullying is it kind of sucks, especially depending on your disposition towards it. Like I don't know, I got bullied sometimes when I was a kid. I just was no until a certain point I would always react just the way they wanted. But it's after a certain point, like halfway through summer on my freshman year, I just stopped giving a shit, and I just turned the entire tide back on the bully, and enjoyed to watch them lose it. Obviously, that's just me, and I enjoyed that time. But there are just some people who either don't have that way of looking at it, or they just can't catch a break to where it's like it feels like graduation's going to be the sweet release. Right?
Well, yeah. But
like
like every year, everybody says don't bully, okay? And people still are not gonna listen to that shit.
No, I don't think they will, because I always just think they're just terrible kids. I don't know. Kids make me happy.
Or do the parents make terrible kids?
Well, I don't know. I think
Karen.
Obviously it's going to sound a little weird, but just the innocence of young kids, right? I find it just humorous. How they're just so dopey and just they don't know anything. I just find it hilarious. It's like watching a dog do something stupid, right? But usually, as I start to get into like middle school and high school, I feel like they become twats, right? And obviously, there are some times where they're just not. But I don't know. I just always think watching young kids are just funny. Like most of the time, I'm just in my house all the time. But if I'm ever at work and customers bring their kids, I just watch to see if they do something stupid.
Oh, I saw like not gonna lie, German kids toxic, real toxic. They think they are the coolest people in the whole world. Okay, I saw young people, like young boys, 3 young boys at a train station, rolling up a cigarette. I went up to them and said, "How old are you?" Because I was 18, I was allowed. Okay, like, how old are you? He says, "Old enough to blow your mom." Okay.
Oh my god.
You better should have not said that. Okay.
Because you can call the cops on them.
I didn't hurt him. Okay. But what I was doing, like, I was like, I had a water bottle. I was taking away his cigarette, his tobacco, his papers, his filters, everything, and splashed water on it. And I told him, be careful what you say, be careful what you do. It's not gonna help you being cool when you do that.
Oh, you want to
do something more you like, not what others want from you.
To be honest, props to the kid for what he said, although it is very rude. But also it's like it's like the drop the mic moment where you just pour water all over their the thing that they're gonna light on fire, obviously. It's like,
yeah,
damn. I mentioned it like yesterday as well, but it's like my high school was kind of like an 80s, the alternative school I went to. It was kind of like an 80s click film, right? Everyone just sat at their particular tables, and it's like, weird. No one just bothered each other at lunch, rarely ever. It was just interesting that now that I look back at it, it's like, So I don't know, what are some do you know about any particular German cliques? American ones are like Jock, Airhead, Burnout, Outcast.
I think yeah, there's there's the Russian gang, then there's the Turkey gang, the Albanian gang,
so it's all very ethnic. So usually the cliques are kind of ethnic.
Kind of just outlanders,
Okay.
Just no, actually immigrants, to be honest. Because Germany took some immigrants from outside, and they just apparently got along with each other and helped each other. I was like, yeah, the thing is, you're not good when you're like that in Germany, because literally nobody likes that. Okay.
No one likes groups. So, what?
Because in Germany, we knew if there's two different groups meeting up each other, there's always the one guy that has a big mouth, and then there's a fight, then there's cops, and there's ambulance.
Oh, okay. You're no one likes big mouth people.
It's just like the green and purple gang in GTA.
Oh, no one. Okay, I think I understand what happened. So no one likes
that's why
people just making groups.
Because everybody knows that this is going to happen.
I don't know.
Many people already died because of those group shits.
Okay, so I zoned out for a moment, and I'm like, it's like no one likes that. And when groups happen, it was like, well, what happened? Okay, so you German population doesn't like when just people create groups and then they just clash with each other.
Yeah.
Okay. It's like, I was like, whoa, what's going on here? We were talking about immigrants for a moment. It's like,
Yeah, no, it's just because when two groups of immigrants like Turkey and Albanian people meet up each other, okay? I don't know Albania or Iraq, I don't know, to be honest, from what country, but two groups of different countries, immigrants that probably just don't like each other, meeting up each other, this is why there's war down there,
It just kind of reminds me of Don't Mess with
Somebody talks shit about someone else, and then it continues and continues and continues, of course, okay? And then sometimes there's just gonna be a war, okay? Because one guy is probably bigger than the other.
I feel like that just happens anywhere. Obviously in America, a big, version of that is the Bloods and Crips.
But do you want to know how the Yugoslavian war started? It literally started because of one person. Because there was one person who knew both languages of both different countries, and he said I think it was a politician, to be honest, because they're just talking shit every time to politicians in Yugoslavia, like Croatia,
Mhm.
Bosnia, Serbia, you know.
Uh-huh.
And the thing is, just one person said, "Hey, that guy talked shit to you, and that guy talked shit to you," you know.
Okay.
Like they're just roasting each other for no reason, and they feel like that's gonna be a war. Okay, it's like why for someone who just wants to see each other fight or what, just to make him pleased.
Mm-hmm. Huh. Yeah.
It literally just makes no sense. War doesn't make any sense at
Oh.
all. You destroy your country, you lose citizens, you lose good men, and you can't just talk like a normal human being. Are you fucking kidding me? It's really not that hard to find a solution for anything. Of course, it takes time, but there's gonna be a solution for anything.
All right. Real quick. I was like, oh, this is getting serious. So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna make a joke so it just disperses. War. What is it good for? Increasing domestic manufacturing. All right, got the Bo Burnham joke out.
You could have also just said a German joke.
I don't know. It seemed appropriate. So I don't know. There was a segment I was talking to my friend last night about, and I would like to do it. So it's called The Question Nobody Asked. Cheese puff cubes, yes or no?
Yes.
All right.
Of course, yes. Why not? Balls are too standard. We need something new.
I don't know. The idea of a cheese puff cube seems a little weird to me. Like honestly, we already have cheese puffs, like little balls.
Yeah, but there's gonna be more in the packages. Like since they're cubes, they fit to each other perfectly, and there's not gonna be air bubbles.
The interesting thing, why I thought about it is like, so do you know why on pizza boxes they make them square instead of round?
Why?
It costs more to make a pizza box round out of cardboard than to make it square. So
it's kind of weird that those pizza slices are triangles in a circle, and the circles in a square.
Okay. It's easier to make the strips of cardboard for a square as opposed to just a plain circle. It makes sense though.
Even though the tree is a circle.
Well, okay, it's like, yeah, I know, but
you get the point.
It just costs less to produce. So I was thinking about the same idea as for cheese puff cubes. Wouldn't it also stand to reason that if instead of taking the time to form a ball, you just make a cube?
You mean just like with the fingers, just like those 3 fingers at each other and just a cube?
Yeah, it's like make cheese puff, make it a cube.
The thing is, sadly, no, because it's because of the volume of the cheese puffs. Because circles have a lower volume, than squares. Because squares have like 8 more cylinder triangle things around the cube.
Okay. Oh.
And if you would press, like you just need to roll your hands like that, But if you would do a cube, you really have to squish your 3 fingers on the cube, but there's still gonna be holes in the cube, just like the circle is still there, just with edges.
All right, the consistency end. It would be cool, but would it be practical?
It would be cool. It would be actually more expensive to make them since the work time is longer for that.
I don't know particularly if it's like rolling a cheese ball. I don't think that's how they're made, though.
Are we just making new inventions?
I don't know. Someone out there might just see this podcast like, yeah, that seems like a worthy venture, and just take it. I don't care, but it's like personally, I don't want to be known for cheese puff cubes. But I don't know. Yeah, it's like, that is the question nobody asked. All right. So I don't know. So why streaming as a thing?
Because it's fun. And if you ever need help, you just ask, and people will help you. Like, by the moment I began streaming and actually needed a donation goal for a bat, somebody actually donates me a bat, which I'm really happy for.
Wait, is that just it sounds like you're saying bat. Do you mean bed or something?
Yeah, a bat. Like,
okay. Sorry, I thought you were saying bed, but I was like, it must be the accent.
Yeah, it's always the accent, to be honest.
Oh, that's why that's why I thought you were talking about bed, because just because I know accents can make it very misleading. Like,
yeah.
Here's one thing I never understood about some of the people in my country. It's like, like, you come here, you speak the language. I'm like, yeah, but that doesn't help if you can't understand their accent.
True.
Like,
that's also just like in Germany. My boss always says, like, speak German with the customers. I'm like, some of them, they don't speak German.
Yeah, it's weird. Like, there's this guy, I think he was Indian, like, but I don't know, but because of his accent, I could barely understand that he was talking about Coke, like the soda. Yeah. I'm like, oh my god, he had to spell it out. I'm like, oh my god, I'm so sorry. And it was right behind. I was standing in the same aisle that the Coke was in. Like,
we have a guy in our city that literally speaks like. I was like, dude, from what planet are you from?
Like, accent, or language doesn't mean.
I never heard a language that sounds like. I was like, okay, how about we take out Google Translator and you type in what you want from me, since you don't speak German, English, or any other language. So he gave me his phone to start Google Translator. I was like, okay. I look at his phone. I give him his phone back as fast as possible and said, okay, I can't work anymore. I can't touch anything. I have to wash my hands, because the moment he opened his phone, there was a porn site open.
Oh no.
And I'm like,
no, I think you really need to, because that seems like it was. No, like, I think you absolutely need to leave as fast as possible, wash your hands, because that seems like it was fresh.
That's not the only thing why he should have left the store. The second thing is he needed to leave the store since he stole things from a store. And, he came into a store and somehow stole those things. We didn't know how. No one knew. He picked the things and went out, but he didn't got any things in his hands or in his bags when he went out the cashless. But when he went outside the store, we saw out the window that he had a drink and something to eat in his hands, and we asked ourselves, did he steal that now, or did he take it with him? Like, we don't know. Oh. Then one day we saw him like on the exit of the store. On the left side, there's like toilet paper stacked up. Okay, and apparently he took a drink and the beverage on the toilet paper, and when he walked out the exit, he took it from the toilet paper. Just, it was far away from the cash desk, so that's how he did it. And one of our
cameras.
No, we don't have cameras. One of our colleagues saw it, and he said, "You know what? Fuck you. Go out. You're not allowed here anymore."
Dude,
he's not even allowed on the parking lot anymore, since the parking lot is owned by the store. Dude, and so one time, I had to clean up the trash. He came back. I told him, "Dude, you're not allowed. Leave. You have to leave, or I have to call the cops on you." The only thing he said, like, and it was like, leave.
That
Now,
makes me feel like bad. Like, I don't like. Was he doing that as a ruse? Because obviously he has ruses in store. He's like
no, apparently he has money since he lives in one of the highest buildings of our city.
uh. Well, I don't know. It seems like I don't know if he's like if the help I don't know German thing is really a ruse.
He knows German pretty much because since the day my colleague banned him from a store, he understood that and never came back.
Like, come on.
He knows German. I know that now. He just thinks.
Like, come on.
He just plays.
That just kind of sucks because it gives a bad name to the people who actually don't know a language or are new to the place.
No, it just gives him a bad name because everybody knows him.
No, I know. No.
City's small.
But his ruse was someone who, I'm assuming who didn't look like, he looked like and sounded like an immigrant. I'm assuming.
I will only apologize to him if I ever hear someone talk like him.
I don't know. It kind of sucks the ruse he chose because it's like I don't know. It kind of sucks because I have people come into my store and I have to tell them don't take from these carts, take from these ones which are clean, right?
Yeah.
So and sometimes they don't understand English the way I do because I've been speaking all my life. They understand Spanish because a large part of my population are Spanish speaking. And so that's one of the reasons I wanted to learn Spanish is to be able to, help out with that. Because, thankfully, I haven't had, too many problems where people are like, no comprende. I have to kind of gesticulate what I'm trying to say. Because if I can't, no comprende, I don't, me no comprende means I don't understand.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So, when that happens, there actually have been people who come in who are come past closing who are deaf.
Yeah.
So, I had to quickly figure out how to tell them because I don't know ASL either. And I just point to them and I point to the hours which are on the front of the door. And they're like, oh, I get it. So I don't know, it's for a person who struggles with communication sometimes, even if I am sorry, even Jesus. So yeah, if I'm whole brain fart, Jesus. Let me just give me a moment. Oh yeah. So for a person who struggles to communicate normally, or at least he did, when he was younger, it's that whole thing all over again, where I can't communicate with someone, or at least not to a very good degree, because they don't speak they don't speak my language very well, or if I can't audibly tell them something.
Well, yeah, that's hard.
Yeah, it's because there were times when I was younger where they're trying to get me to explain, how I feel and what I am, or because I was, quite a little monster when I was a kid. So, yeah,
apparently I was too.
So, I had to be able. I just didn't know how to use my words. I just knew cuss words.
Oh my god.
Oh yeah. So, actually, I have there's another thing I would like to make a thing. What if, right? A what if question. So, obviously, it's not always in the frame of what if. It's just kind of a question. What would you tell your younger self if you had the ability to? Send a message back in time audibly, or you just appear in front of them and say and there's your message.
Take the pills.
Well, like ADHD, Viagra.
Yeah.
Okay. It's like take the pills.
Since I have ADHD, it wasn't easy for me since I was unconcentrated. I forgot stuff. Sometimes didn't listen, just didn't care.
Dude.
Or I wanted to start something and I do something else. Can't sit still. That's what I thought. Like, you know what? That's a problem for me. Sometimes then I realized my English teacher in middle school wasn't happy with me, but I wasn't bad in English. Okay, we did vocabulary tests, and I always had an F. Okay, like we use numbers. I had a 5 or a 6. You know, like an EF. Okay. And then when we went to the exams, I always got an A or an A or a B plus. Okay,
were they even graded by her?
What?
Were they graded by the same teacher who?
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
And so she asked me, "Hey, why are you so bad at the vocabulary test, but not in your exams?" Because like I can't remember words, but I can remember sentences, which is way easier for me. She said, "Oh, okay, so that's why you're better with that than with the vocabulary test." I said, "Yes, ma'am, that's why." And she always shouts at me because, like, one time she was handing out the vocabulary tests, like the results of it, and I just like was a bit gone. Like I felt like the time she gave them out in the class, okay, I was just staring out the window because it was such a bright, sunny day, perfect day. You just wanted to go outside, okay? I just looked outside, nothing else. I didn't even look at her. I didn't even realize. And I was just looking outside, and apparently she was staring at me for 2 whole minutes. The whole class was laughing, and she just gives me the baddest look. I just didn't realize, and then I heard just laughing in class, and I was asking myself what's going on. I look behind me, and she looks me dead straight with wide open eyes, and like just wait, there's probably a smiley like that.
A smiley.
Like imagine that, but with bad eyebrows. Okay. Like, and she was staring at me and said like, "Yeah, no, you're. I'm gonna write it down in the book." I was like, I literally didn't do anything except staring out the window till you hand out the results for the exam. Literally nothing, and I got shit on. I told it my main teacher, okay, and she said like, "Yeah, but why didn't you listen to what she said?" Because she didn't say anything while she was sending out the results for the vocabulary test.
Right. For the one person who commented, I know them, and they're like smiley, like what? It was like a smiley face emoji, with like he, as he said, like a smiley emoji with bad eyebrows, just for like a visual to me.
Well, actually, none of my English teachers, except two, liked me because like every time I just didn't make the vocabulary test. That's the main reason. That's why they didn't like me. Okay, but I always make the exam, and I always questioned them how I made the exam, but not the vocabulary test. Then one teacher, we made the vocabulary test, and she was asking me again, why are you good at vocabulary? Why are you bad at vocabulary tests, but not in the exam? I was like, because it's easier for me to know sentences and not words. She said, "Oh, okay, understandable." I was like, yeah. The second teacher, he didn't make any vocabulary tests, and I was happy. I was finally done with those. Okay, he just handed out papers and asked if you could fill out the papers and if you knew the words. I was like, "Sir, the time you were speaking, I was already done."
Okay.
So he's like, "Wait, how are you that fast?" I mean, like literally, it's just three, like, it's just ABC, okay?
Yeah.
Nothing else. And
Oh.
it's literally done. It's easy.
There was
It's
this
like,
one time in like kindergarten, a teacher.
apparently I'm better in English than German.
There's this one time in kindergarten, right? When I was a kid, the teacher called my parents in for a meeting and said, and the complaint was that I was using too big of words. And her request to my parents was that they dumb me down a bit so that she feels better.
And what?
Like you can expect my parents' reactions. They're like, "Are you like effing kidding me? Like, why would we ever do that? Like, he just seems to be a little brighter then, or rather, I should say, brighter than the teacher."
Bad boys. What you gonna do?
I'm thinking, what an insecure, jerk. Like, yeah. My friend Carl's like, LMAO, lose brain cells or get detention.
I once had a talk with my teacher and my director.
Yeah.
And my mom, and they were talking, and I was like, not gonna lie, seriously, like, none of you teachers like me. Okay, I may do not make my homework. I'm not the best at the exams, okay, but at least I try. Like I said, I have ADHD. I don't listen that much. Okay, it's hard for me. Okay.
Yeah.
I just can't do anything about it. And I literally said to my mom, my teacher, and my director, I was like, not gonna lie, also, I get bullied, and no fucking bitch ass teacher or director looked the director straight in the eye. Notices that shit. Nobody does anything about that shit.
Some people are just corrupt.
My teacher and my director were just silent. They didn't even know what to say. And I just said, like, it was a Friday. Okay, we had to talk on a Friday. I know the time perfectly. So it was after school, Friday, and I told them that. And I told them, if this school system fails, then it's not my fault that I have other things to deal with than school. And then I just said to my mother, we leave, and then we left. And my mom actually then thought that.
It sounds like most of the people making decisions in your schooling life were all the principal from the Breakfast Club. Just a very corrupt, kind of tool. But there was a time in high school, right? Crap, I knew where I was going, but I'm like, it ran away faster than Usain Bolt. It was along the lines of the thing I told about, like, kindergarten. But it's like, oh, geez, where'd it go now? It's like, gone, like a ninja, into the night. So until I remember that, because I thought I knew what I was saying. I have another kind of, like, a very interpretive question. So, do you think that black is a color?
The what?
Like black. Do you think it's a color?
Yeah.
I don't know. The information I always have, obviously some people say, like, black's not a color, it's the absence of color. It's like, well, it depends on what you're talking about. Like, when you talk about black, like black t-shirts, stuff like that, it's actually a pigment of gray so dark that it looks black. Or there's things like Vanta Black, the paint.
Oh, yeah.
Which is made in such a way that it's almost as if it is a color, really. Like, it just absorbs so much light to where you're like, okay, if it's something you can create like that, I think it should be considered a color, really.
True.
Like, if color is supposed to be light, why couldn't color also not be the opposite of light? Like, that's like saying, like, oh, cold really isn't a thing. Cold is actually the absence of heat. It's like, but you can still feel cold.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and you can also see black.
Yeah, like you can visually register it.
Yeah.
It's one of those like it's like is it
Even
dressed?
though it is still a color, since Pentablack is absorbing 99.99%
Did you look that
of
up?
light, but the 0.01% is still light. So
Yeah.
it is technically a color.
Did you look up the amount of light it absorbs?
Yeah,
Or question?
it's still a color since it has light,
Yeah.
just not much.
All right. On the subject of kind of hot and cold, I have a question. Are you more of a summer person? Or are you more of a winter person?
I'm more of a summer person since I like the sun, and my birthday is actually in exactly 10 days.
Like mine passed in June, but I have a problem with summer. Just I like the thunderstorms that come with summer. That's one of my favorite things about summer, but that's kind of where it ends.
Warm
Because
rain.
yeah, or just thunderstorms in general. You don't get those much in the winter. But
True.
I just don't like heat, and my allergies have apparently decided to get much worse now that I'm older. Like so, and apparently it's just gonna happen in the summer. I'm like, that sucks. I might as well move to Canada. If this is gonna like my allergies, like my throat gets pretty dry to the point where I'm gagging all the time, or like it get dry to the point where I cough, which right now is not a very good thing. So I always have to keep like cough drops on me, which can also dries out my eyes because I'm always wearing a mask. So I'm like, oh my god, this just sucks. So I don't. I think I just always prefer winter. Just I don't know. I like the cold too. If I had my way, my house would be cold all the time. It's like, ugh, jeez, ugh. All right. Now,
I don't like to. I wouldn't love it to be. Like literally, I in winter I don't even need a radiator, to be honest. Because my PC, it always gets so hot when I play with it. It's literally like my PC is literally the radiator.
Yeah.
I don't need to turn on. I don't have to waste heat. Okay.
Krampus,
So
be gone! Release the
lower,
fire from your PC.
Yeah, even though it's water cooled.
Oh.
So yeah, the graphics card is not water cooled. I think that is the hottest part. Okay, true. It has 2 fans instead of 3.
Uh-huh.
That's also a thing, so that's why it's hot, probably.
Uh-huh.
But the thing is, the bill is lower. I only pay electricity bills for the PC.
Uh-huh.
And nothing else, pretty much.
Another kind of like question I had. It's like, so what is something that really like creeps you out? Like, it's not something that will make you be like, nope, I'm out of here. But it definitely brings the feeling of creepiness to you.
Okay, the creepiest thing. Well, the biggest of moths and spiders.
Mm-hmm. Oh, so like even moths or Moses or something like that kind of creep you out. Is it like the eyes or something, or?
No, I just don't like big insects,
Okay, so question, would you ever watch Mothra or something? Or would you be like...
I don't think so.
Oh, okay.
I even, do you know from SpongeBob the moth in the
line? It was a butterfly, but I know what you mean.
It was a butterfly?
Yeah. Well, okay, to be honest...
It was a moth, literally, who said, the light's gonna be mine.
That moth, man.
That moth.
I thought you were talking about the episode where they had like a close up of the butterfly face.
No, but I literally felt like, yeah, no, I don't like that face. No, I think that every moth looks like that since I watched that.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, I'm gonna smack you or just keep you in a jar and fly you out again. Okay.
Okay.
If it's a big muff, I'm just gonna put it in a glass and bring it out so
Mm-hmm.
it doesn't get in anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Well, smaller one, apparently sometimes I just smack them accidentally.
Oh.
I was
Like
not even noticing it.
small things like, kind of, are like so. Like one time I was biking to work, right? And I walk up this particularly steep hill to get to work.
Yeah.
And one time I was just walking up my bike and I almost ran over a worm. Now, the first time I just missed it, right? And then I noticed the worm because I'm always looking at the ground. And I'm like, oh shit. So I just push my second tire out of the way so I don't run the thing over. Which must seem like a kind of crappy way to die for a worm. It's like it'd be as if ant stormed
I'm
up
not gonna
into.
lie, a worm. If a worm would die from a big wheel, it would be just like a human getting hit from a wheel by bus.
Well, the way I always think about it is like if an ant barged into my house and shot me with a shotgun.
What are the odds?
Yeah. Or so one time my brother was like, "Why does some of these squirrels always die in our neighborhood?" Because I don't know, my neighborhood is infamous for squirrels being gruesomely killed. Not like on purpose. Hopefully, there's no psychopath in my neighborhood, but they're like just roadkill, right? And it sucks. And my brother's like, "Why do they keep just doing that?" I'm like, "Hey, Robert, wouldn't it be stand to reason that we took their home? Like at some point, this was all forest, you know?"
Sure.
So it's like it's unfortunate, but they're just trying to cope in our world, our world now. Yeah. So one thing that actually
Imagine you're in the woods, okay, and you just step on the ground. You don't see anything. You don't know anything what's underneath your feet, and you accidentally just step on. Oh my God! How many insects are underneath your feet without even knowing?
There's this one. So when I was a kid, right? Or not a kid, Jesus, why was I even saying that? Now I remember the school thing. Okay, nice. Anyway, just as a brief look into what the thing, and I'll get back to what kind of like creeps me out. But the thing about school was, I was in college. I had this biology class where it's so weird how I just memorize things without thinking about it, or how my memory just helps me do things. Because I watched, it was one of those college classes where they had like outlets and you could just use your laptop in it. So I was just on my laptop watching like Twilight Zone, Power Rangers, just YouTube videos sometimes, with one earbud out and one earbud in so I could listen to it and listen to the teacher. I got a B in that class. Apparently, the class average was below 70. And apparently, every person who's ever taken that class I've talked to said, yeah, like the stuff on the study guide, never on the test. And what I did was I always just filled out the study guide and memorized it. And I got a B. I'm like, wow. Again, weird statistic anomaly. Back to something. One thing I think I noticed that creeps me out more than anything else is just complete silence. Like ever since I've just started listening to stuff as I'm going to sleep, I don't have a problem. But I remember so many times at night where it takes so long because every little thing in the silence just makes me jump. Like, whoa, what was that? So I just like listening to something, so it helps me, calm down. Or sometimes like when things are just utterly silent, even if I'm just in my room, I'm like, this sounds awful. This needs to stop. But
I
like
know.
obviously, when things
I
are
know.
too loud, like 4th of July around my place, it just kind of sucks. That's why I always just loved podcasts and started listening to them, because it's just like, oh, it's just something it's just talking. It's noise in the background. Mm-hmm.
True.
All right. So that is about an hour. Was there anything you wanted to bring up?
Let me think. I had something today in mind to talk about.
Mm.
Okay. There's this war currently going on. It's not like with people who die. Okay. It's about the war about PC, Xbox, and PS4.
Oh, thank God! It was like not another like this again.
No, not gonna lie. Who is now the best one? Well, I personally think now it's PC, since you can play any game on it, and you can basically just put an emulator for PS4 and Xbox on the PC. Why does not every Asus RG?
I've just never
PS4
had that mentality. I just play PC. It's easier for me.
Yeah, that too. But why is not just why is Sony, Republic of Gamers like Asus and Microsoft just working with each other to make the biggest PC ever, that has just one software?
Well, otherwise we wouldn't have the memes like the Kaiba PlayStation and the Xbox that you could pull a beer out of. Like, come on.
The only console that also has to be in there is Nintendo, of course.
Yes, the Switch.
And of course, we have the memes, but there could be more memes if there would be one product, or maybe many more.
Yeah, but like if you think about it, it's not really a commercial thing. Just like commercialism is kind of a very competitive thing. Like, I don't know. I think Sprint recently got absorbed by T-Mobile, so it was so funny to see the commercial for that. Right? It's like Sprint is now a part of T-Mobile, and together they're working to provide the same, like, more, better, whatever. Like, that's just dumb. Like, it's weird, because like, how about just instead of doing that and not making a commercial out of it? It's like, it'd be like if the whale from Moby Dick made a vlog about how he ate the sailor.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like, who cares? Like, when I found out, like,
everybody just cared about the whale, not the sailor.
Yeah, when I found out that Microsoft bought Mojang or whatever, the company that owns Minecraft, I'm like, okay, cool. Why can't I buy Realms? Because it says it's overseas. Couldn't care less about that.
True.
Yeah, it's overall, like, commercialism is a very competitive thing. So it's just funny to see how it's like, notice how things are like, technology's like, it was big, then it got small, then it got bigger. So maybe in another 30-ish years, things will just be smaller again. Who knows? It's just funny. Like like the Kaiba memes for the new PlayStation coming out. Or I don't know. Some people, like, I don't know who it was, but someone messaged me like a picture of the refrigerator meme about the Xbox. It's like, that's its actual size. I'm like, obviously not.
The Wi-Fi router meme.
It's just the one where like the thing is resized so it fits over a picture of a refrigerator in stock image kitchen.
Sony actually said, like, we took a whole lot of work to make that PS5 logo. It's just literally the same logo with a 5.
Well, okay. That's like, remember, like, I don't know if you ever heard about Smash Mouth once said, like, oh, we could have been the next Beatles. Mike, would you really? With, I don't know, it's like, I don't know, I think it's fun. Like, you became an immortalized meme. What's the problem? Like, I don't know, maybe like the PS5 or the Xbox, whatever, might not survive to, like, legendary memedom, but it's like, like, dude, profit off that. Own it. If you own the meme, you would do so much better.
True.
Like,
True.
just like Sony tweeting out pictures of that meme or things, other things, right? Like the Wendy's stuff, like Sassy Wendy's, they own it, mate. They just do it, and it's basically like a meme thing. Like, oh, Wendy's just roast people.
Yeah, I like that. I really thought about like telling Wendy's to roast me.
Mm-hmm.
And let's just, I'm just gonna tell them, sorry Wendy's, but McDonald's is my fave. I just want to see what they answer.
Uh-huh.
They probably just say like, do I look like I care?
Yeah.
Like, not gonna lie, people actually want to be roasted. They want to.
I think it's like an ego thing, really, sometimes. Like, oh, how could I? Oh, ugh, Wendy's Twitter. Oh, I think it's funny. Like, roast me as if there's nothing fun, nothing that could be said about me. Right? But obviously, there are some just people who are just trying to get a roast from Wendy's. Right? All right.
Yeah.
So,
I wish actually Burger King and McDonald's would also roast people, or Chick-fil-A. Oh, I would give anything to try Chick-fil-A or Wendy's once, because we don't have that here. I saw like in a far city from here, like 2.5 hours away. Like it's just not worth it. Okay. There's, I think, Chili's. And I never tried that.
No, you're not, Carl. Not yet. Later, though. But anyway, so I'm a big Taco Bell fan. I wouldn't choose it over some. I know it's sacrilegious to choose Taco Bell over traditional Mexican food, but I don't know. There's this one place near my house I could rather do without. I'd rather go to Taco Bell. Other than that, there's this one, Mexican food truck place near my house. But there was a food truck place in my town. I love their food. As expensive as it is, I would choose it over Taco Bell if I could afford doing that all the time. Like the one quesadilla for my friend and the burrito for me was like $27. Granted, there was like 2 water bottles, but it's like, come on.
Jesus.
Oh yeah. But anyway, I think that is a good place to end it. So this yes. So I'm gonna try to find. Hopefully, why don't you actually just send me your Twitch link? DM.
The Twitch link is literally every time in my Discord.
All right. Oh, I don't know. I just need to be able to find it so I can put it in the description, mate.
Oh, okay.
All right. So
yep. I'm gonna send it to you.
This has been StardiSky at Twitch personality.
I was also happy to be here. Thank you very much for asking me if I wanted to do a podcast with you. It was really fun. I enjoyed it really much.
Yep.
And I hope we can do it sometime again.
Yep. And I have some guests in mind. Some may be recurring, just as I start to start this out. There's one in particular I would like. Not a celebrity or anything. It's just someone who I think would be fun. But yeah, I think this was very nice. I have one lined up for later today that I'm probably gonna release at a later date. But yeah, I think this has been a very nice thing to do, and it's I think good for both of us that I brought him on. Yeah.
True. I asked Anna Pence if she wanted to, if I could make an interview with her.
Uh-huh.
Like she said, it has to be work based. I was like, okay, I can try.
Yeah. All right. Yep. This has been Karisen Conversation. I hope if like I find out at some point that No Name Podcast isn't taken, it's definitely gonna become that. I'm not gonna lie.
True.
Yeah. All right. Yep. Have a good one.
Yeah. Have a good one too.
Mm-hmm.
See you next time, Edmund. Yeah, we're gonna see each other on the Discord, of course.
Yep. See ya.
See ya.